Rank 56, you have to have something.
I have no idea. I don't play scrims actually,
Oh
so.
my
Alright,
dude.
you are really proving your worth on this call, right? Okay, but we are into the game, I believe, as we get into the third game. Current score is 1-1. Okay, I'm gonna need you guys to talk a bit as I edit some of the commands, okay? Because we've gotta make sure that everybody knows what's up.
Alright. Alright, Colin. What kind of player are you? What role do you play?
I play mid.
Play mid. Alright. So I'm
So
gonna look for you for a mid pick this drafting phase.
sure. But seeing that co-op gameplay by Excel, I think we'll be looking at a co-op ban here.
Okay, wait, how about as a mid player yourself, right? Like, how about you tell us a bit about the matchup between OD and Quad? Because that was something me and Jerry couldn't talk about. We're not mid players, right? To us, it seems like the Quad would kind of be okay, like not easily killed by the Meteor Hammer. But how does that matchup go as the game goes on? Because Excel seemed to really pop off, but we couldn't identify what it was about Excel's play that made it that good.
Laning wise, I think OD wins co-op for sure. I just played it one game ago.
Right.
You can't really dodge the hammer because if you time it correctly, you can't blink out. So yeah, but I think later in the game, like co-op is just good game wise. That's why he popped off.
Yeah, so you think that game was just too good for Quad? Like they didn't have anything to deal with it, or
Yeah, once he popped BKB, they couldn't really like lock him down.
right? I think one thing we really noticed as well is, for me personally, I used to play a lot of Slada, and Slada is one of my best heroes, but it always feels like it's such a hit or miss because if you have a bad early game, right, it feels so hard to come back. Did you notice like Washed Up, like how did he kind of just make a game for himself even though shit didn't go his way?
Oh, he was shut down early. I wasn't watching the early part.
Okay, yeah, as it felt like he didn't have as much impact because most of the time with Slada, you're like, okay, you know what, we're gonna crush this lane, but it didn't end up too well. Like Believer still managed to get quite a lot on the Wraith King.
Oh, I think like they just play around with the life stealer combo and bursted people down.
Okay, thank you. You're really killing it with this.
Let's
Okay,
start, man. Let's start.
Right, no, okay, I'm just messing around, but Bane first pick. This is something that we saw earlier in the series as well. I think was it Shisui who was able to just get grips off thanks to the global silence? I
Yeah,
believe it was right in
Shisui.
game one.
Yeah, she's we. No immortal items on that Bane. Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Alright, Colin, can I get your input? How do you feel about support being picked first during the draft?
If he says some shit about like, oh, it's literally I don't play screams and I don't know. Kick him out of this call right now. Like, get out. This dude messaged in my chat. He literally was like, I can give my insight full stop. I thought I thought you were serious, man. You fucking me or what?
I was just trolling you.
Oh my fuck, dude.
Yeah, I mean Bane is just OP, so props to them for picking Bane.
Right.
Their win chance just
Alright.
increased by 10%.
Okay, actually gonna check. I'm gonna check later, of course. Jerry, can you verify that this man is rank 56? Thank you.
I mean, his account is rank 56.
Alright.
Right?
No, I didn't see it.
Alright? No, I can't check it. We're not friends, so I can't check.
Oh, shame. I am friends,
Alright,
but
we
I
got
am.
catfish. We got
Alright,
catfish.
yeah, we're getting catfished here. Someone straight up lied on the internet. Who could?
Alright, I'm
who could
actually
this-
rank 57, guys.
Ah,
Ah,
shit. You
shit.
fuck, you got us. Okay, but let's stop fucking around for a little bit. Let's talk about the draft, right? Right now, there's a Bane into a Tidehunter. I feel like Tidehunter is a pretty good pick against Big. I don't know how that really works because on one hand you can sleep him, nobody else touch him, and then that's like one big team fighter, watermelon out of the way. But on the other hand, like you can never really grip and kill a Tidehunter.
Just Kraken shells it off, right?
Yeah, I just fucking Kraken shells it off. Like what are you gonna do?
Yeah, especially if it's Baba Hunter. He's been very effective, getting really good ravages off.
Yeah, I
So,
think
I
so
don't
far Baba is
think
just
in
an
meta-
impact.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off, but like Baba's just an impact player, right? Like even with the Night Stalker, the blink the overwhelming blink active onto 3 into the silence to keep them all in place. Like he's just a like he's just the player that makes the move happen. Like with the darts here, the blink vacuum walls didn't work out for them in game number 2, but really it was just because USP was so on top of their game. And it's gonna be a Bane Grimstroke combo, double grip.
Double grip.
Yeah, double grip. I don't really like this combo.
That was like a
kind of...
Friday night.
Alright, relax. Yo, what the fuck?
Hey. Alright.
If you weren't casting
see
this
the first
game,
two
you'll be
picks
double
already.
gripping it up right now, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'll be double gripping right now, dude. Come on.
Alright,
So first two picks already out. So two supports on USP, a support and a core on RVRC. Right, Corden. Do you have any insight what kind of mid hero was gonna come out?
Not sure about that, but I think right now on RVRC, the Earth Spirit can kind of destroy the two supports. Like, they don't really have an answer if the Earth Spirit just rolls in. So,
Yeah,
probably
that's
gonna
true.
try to stop him.
Yeah, it kind of feels like... I mean, I don't know how much of the matches you've been watching, Corden, but this Leonidas Earth Spirit, right, has been such a thorn in everyone's side. Of course, USP managed to deliver its first loss of this entire tournament, but they still feel confident enough to first pick it, right? Because it's just like an off game. Maybe they're just shrugging it off. We are supposed to win that game. We messed up. Let's try and go again. They go with something a bit more stable in the form of the Tide Hunter. The Park ban is a bit interesting to me because I would have thought that Grimstroke or Bane would have enough control for Park, or do you play a lot of Park? Do you feel like that's the case? Or?
Actually, it's kind of the opposite. Like, some would think that way, but then Park, he just silences and calls them and runs away.
Right.
Like, yeah, you can't really like instantly stun him, because if he's fast enough, you just space shift and get out.
Right.
Yeah.
So Park a bit too elusive for them to deal with, you reckon?
Yeah, if you go with the Park and Earth Spirit, like, they just die. So
right, because they just
ban by
instantly roll in silence and then the follow-up silence coil and then they just get huntam.
yeah.
Okay, well, they banned out the TAs, so no tight TAs for them even. This is not a Nigma cosplay, but Tinker ban as well. These seem very specific. Do you know... Okay, so you don't actually know anything about Excel. If not, I would have asked you whether Tinker is kind of like a... Yeah,
No. But seeing how he play, I bet he could play anything.
Yeah, he's kind of great. I don't even know if they're trolling, but Excel really played so well in that game. Like, all jokes aside, like, I really think he kind of turned it up.
Yeah. I mean, he did carry the game.
Yeah. Okay, so Tinker ban and Invoker ban, a lot of focus bans on the mid. So Kyoko and Excel, their mid pools are really gonna shrink. The only other kind of pick that I sort of... I mean, OD is available now. They still haven't banned it just yet. They have one more ban on each side. The Chikiro is gonna come out though. So they're scared a bit of the Kyoko mid Chikiro yet again. But I mean, it's definitely a pretty decent game for it. You have the Ice Path to deal with the Bane, the Grimstroke, you know, he's gonna send people in with the Inkswell, but that's not gonna be too pretty if you're just running into some fire and some ice. And of course you have the two big green guys just blocking the way to anyone who wants to make it to you. So pretty cool game for the Jakiro if it's played in the core role. Of course, we basically have the off-lane duo complete for RVRC, which is something that they favored in terms of drafting. They just picked up the Baba hero bright and early, and they really have to, because if not, in the second phase, it just all gets banned out. Doom is banned, though. Something
It's quite risky, though, picking a Tide and Earth Spirit. Like, if they pick a decent carry, it can kind of like counter the lane, because it's a double melee lane.
Well, what kind of counter this lane specifically? Could you give like maybe 1-2 examples?
Let me think, maybe...
Yeah, as in what do you
Medusa?
feel like will kind of get away with a tight lane? Because we've seen Baba and Leonidas been able to pressure so often, right? I don't really... Like, off the top of my head, I can't really think of anything. Like, maybe like... Does Ursa work?
Yeah, Ursa Slug plus the Grimstroke can
No, that's true.
kind of destroy this lane, but I think Grimstroke's playing for...
Right. Do you think Slug is a hero this patch? Because I feel like I haven't seen it a lot.
Yeah, same, but recently, like, people have been playing it a lot in my pubs. So I think in the past week, it's been making, like, a comeback.
Okay. I mean, Slug also has that handy leash to keep the Queen of Pain in place, right? It's a very inconvenient little situation, because then you kind of need to use something like a BKB. I don't think Queen of Pain, they want to ever get a use to get themselves out of the situation. And they're picking up the Excel Water Park is open and ready for business lah, brother man. It didn't work so well for them in game number 1, but I mean, he still definitely put on a performance, and I mean, against every tight hunter, you need a good Kanka, right?
Only 10 seconds.
Definitely.
Thank you. You guys are both so useful in terms of providing insight and shit. It's very liberating to know that I can take a break from talking and literally you guys will come in and with open arms and fill up the dead air.
Huh? What do you mean?
All right, let's go for a quick musical intermission as I bump out the. Okay, but all jokes aside, of course, they're into kind of the fourth and fifth pick here. I just want to ask, is there any particular kind of direction of the draft that you guys see from both these sides right now?
Dire team are now picking.
You call anyone to go first?
Ooh. What the fuck is this hero, guys? Haven't seen this one in a while.
Yeah,
I mean,
what the
I think
fuck?
they're probably looking at a like Terrorblade or something they can hit towers for Radiant.
Right, they really are lacking that tower pressure now. They have a lot of kill potential though, and they have a lot of like blink in, barrel strike. They could even double barrel strike. Then they grip someone, sleep another, the shit in. One thing I'm kind of concerned about is I feel like after the initial burst, USP might not have a lot of damage. So if the Queen of Pain gets up to like a BKB or Sanj and Kaya like we saw XL did in the previous game, he might reach unkillable points. Same for the Tide Hunter, getting something like the pipe and I don't know, the hood and more tanky items could make him a bit hard to kill. Might struggle with damage issues going into the later stages of the game, but early game, man, they've got a fuck down magical burst.
Yeah, I think
Wait,
if
wait.
SK gets a fast dagger, they can easily gang the corp with the Grimstroke.
Right, and like especially backed up by the Kanka as well. The X, even if you blink away, if you get the X in time, you just pull her right back, right? The Ogre is gonna be the pick here, so pretty interesting, but definitely a hero that can beat out the Sand King, right? The biggest weakness of the Sand King is if you are in lane and someone can stand in the Sandstorm and do more damage to you than you can do back. Ogre literally is that hero. He just puts a sentry down, doesn't give a shit, slaps you with Ignite, and you're suffering super hard.
Dire's ban.
Yeah, definitely quite annoying for the top lane, but it's still killable. I think the SK and Grimstroke does do a lot of damage.
I mean, as an Ogre player myself, I find myself in like these kill lanes, right? And I'm forced to assess whether I die or not. And I argue to say like maybe in the first like 2 to 3 levels, I'm still okay. But the second the Grimstroke gets higher levels in the Inkswell and the Stroke of Fate, then it's bad news bears for me. I need to like get the fuck out of there. I mean, Ogre Magi does help shore up their like whatever carry they're gonna pick, right? So even if they pick a bit of a weaker laner, it's still gonna be okay. Generally, Sand King is a bit of a weird off laner in the sense where he either threatens a kill onto you or you're just AFK farm because his Sandstorm and the Caustic, he's just gonna push the wave in, which means that you could get away with picking a bit of a greedier carry, especially if an Ogre Magi backing you up. They're gonna ban the Life Stealer as the last ban, which I think was really smart because once again we saw how strong Rip Rap is on that thing, and he obviously knows something we don't. The Sand King also a very convenient infest delivery. In the meantime though, they ban out the Wraith King along with the Razor for the side of USP as the final ban comes through for RVRC. Looks like USP and RVRC, they're both going to look for position 1 hero. So is there anything that sticks out to you guys? Anything you guys want to make your mad predictions about?
I think USP, I think Terrorblade is like really good. They don't have a lot of bursts on RVRC. Plus they have the ghost ship too, so like...
Oh, you seem like you're really a big fan of this Terrorblade hero. What do you think it does for them in this draft? Because the Tyrant Terrorblade matchup is pretty good for Terrorblade in the lane, right? But is it because they don't have enough damage to like deal with him, or what do you think?
First of all, like USP needs some push, so around like 8 minutes, Terrorblade can TP top and take the tier 1. So that's something like not a lot of carries can do. They can't hit towers as fast as Terrorblade. And also like with the Nightmare save with the Ghost Ship, they can't really burst the Terrorblade. The Terrorblade will just sunder and continue fighting.
That's true. The only real burst that they have is this Queen of Pain, but they're gonna opt for the Juggernaut. This is not a hero that we've gotten to see this entire time. But I don't know.
Morphling actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, Morphling might be good actually.
as in Morphling for USP or Morphling for RVRC?
I feel like either team is not a bad pick, Morphling.
Yeah, you can morph
RVRC is
into...
kind of risky though.
Yeah, I think right now you're very susceptible to getting burst down, and I mean you're gonna get the Linkins, but the Bane with the Enfeeble as well, gonna be able to just peel that off himself. Now, the Jug, what do you guys think about this pick? I'm not really sure how I feel about it. I mean, usually you want to pair the Jug up with someone that can set up kills with him in lane. Now, if you move the Grimstroke to the top and the Bane to the bot, suddenly your Sand King kill threat is not there, and it's gonna be an anti-mage, baby!
I'm not too sure about this anti-mage pick.
Yeah,
Yes.
me neither, not gonna lie.
I mean, there's so many ways to dive on RVRC. Quad Earth Spirit can just go in, especially, and if Tai gets a blink, they can go around the map making a lot of space for this anti-mage.
Okay, on the bright side, I kind of understand what they're going for, because if you think about it, Excel with the X marks, the Grimstroke with the Phantom's Embrace, the Bane with literally all his skills, and even the Sand King, everything can be counterspell. So Believer is gonna live up to his name a little bit and just trust in the spell shield to keep him alive. Now, whether that will be the case or not is a different story, but why don't you guys tell me which draft you favor more?
Pardon?
Which draft do you favor more, Corden?
Definitely USP. Like I'm not sure what anti-mage was thinking, but we'll find out. Maybe he knows something cause like Kunkka is like a huge counter to anti-mage. You can just X him. If he doesn't get the counter spell off, he just
Yeah.
dies.
Understand.
And Sand King can just jump him with the Grimstroke. Like Sand King plus Grimstroke is almost a guaranteed kill on him in the before 20 minutes.
Okay.
And they
Well-
don't really have like much turtling ability. I mean Tide can defend towers, but that's about it.
Indeed, like you said, they don't have a lot of wave clear. They're really gonna have to rely on like creep cutting and all that. But we're gonna have to see whether they can channel their inner RTZ as we get into game number 3 of USP versus RVRC. We saw an amazing comeback from USP. They've got to be feeling pumped after that one. Leading the charge will be USP XL, the owner of the water park in the facility on the mid Kanka. Vector is going to be piloting that Grimstroke, probably in the position 4, alongside him in the offlane. It's going to be washed up with the Sand King. Not a hero you see very often, but we're going to have to see whether he can make that work. Rip Rap Trip Trapping with another magic immune carry. It's going to be Juggernaut, and last but not least, it's going to be Ill Eagle on the Bane. Now, do I have to introduce everyone again, or you want to do some work for once, Jerry?
30 seconds to
Alright. So on shit, off to a great start. So on RVRC we have Kyoko Mercedes-Benz on this quad, swapping places with XL, hoping to make as much of an impact, I guess. Followed by that in this safe lane we have Believer on this anti-mage. He will be paired up together with Ogre, Shisui on Ogre. So that's gonna be a pretty interesting lane to watch. And on the off lane it's gonna be Baba on Tidehunter, paired together with Leonidas on his signature one-trick Earth Spirit.
Oh, Leonidas, he might have rolled into a little bit of trouble here. The Barrel Strike available from Washed Up. The Stroke of Fate gonna catch him. Doesn't look like they want to commit, but he's falling a little low. But the slow up from Shisui should keep him alive. Do they want to commit for this? I don't think so. The roll away as well. Leonidas gonna get a nice little reset. And could spell a bit of trouble because Washed Up getting the Barrel Strike first. It's always a toss-up between what you get in the lane, and that's gonna dictate how your lane goes so heavily as this Sand King, right? Because sometimes, or at least most of the time, I feel like you want to get Caustic to pressure out this AM. Now with this Barrel Strike, you're not going to be able to use it in a short bit. Yeah, I mean, they don't line it up very well. Yeah, that's literally it. That's it for your lane. At least he's going to get the range creep. Oh, denied by Believer. That's going to hurt. And Shisui starting the Ogre magic, literally just auto-attacking them.
Alright. So how do you feel about this mid matchup, Corden?
It's 50-50. Quap can harass Kunkka quite a bit, but Kunkka can just X himself and TP back to base. So should be even. Yeah.
Alright.
Kind of
Okay.
surprised they didn't send the Grimstroke to bot lane though.
Okay, give me a sec. Let me just get some overlay stuff up, because I just want to make sure there's some sort of visual indicator that shows that the teams are like and their scores. So I'm gonna try and get that set up. If you guys could help me out, just say something interesting for a goddamn moment, would you?
Alright, to build on Corden's point, alright, it is quite interesting they didn't put the Grimstroke bottom together with Juggernaut. It's a very obvious combo, a very strong combo. I'm not very sure why they want it. Maybe it's to probably nightmare any of Leonidas' role, putting much pressure on the lane. What do you think, Colin?
Uh, not too sure about that.
Alright.
The road doesn't really threaten anything. But right now,
Okay.
I mean, they're just trading farm at bot, so
Okay.
should be okay.
The roll
should
doesn't
be okay.
threaten anything though, but he still tosses it forward as we missed first blood at the top side. They've caught Shisui out lacking, and that probably was a mango barrel strike they wasn't expecting. The level 2 Inkswell. That's exactly why they put the Grimstroke top. They just want to get the kills on this lane and pressure out this anti-mage.
Yeah, that is a really strong combo. Just gets stunned up, sets up for the Inkswell, nice little chain stun. Quite a big chunk of damage, especially for this anti-mage. Doesn't have much sustain early.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
now look, the levels in Caustic, this is exactly... I mean, for the longest time, right? Like, every single time you pick Sand King, it's like, oh, the go-to AM. Like, it's just such an easy counter. But we've kind of seen a bit of evolution. Some Sand Kings, they like to get the Bracer and just auto-attack the shit out of this AM with high levels in Caustic. And he's not even opting to go into another level yet. He's still saving it. He's gonna put it into the Sandstorm finally. But yeah, it's actually going a lot better for this Sand King. Top of the, like, CS right now.
Yeah, teammate going for the Orb of Corrosion, so looks like he won't have. I mean, fortunately, Ogre bought like salves for him.
Yeah.
If not, I don't think he will be able to sustain the lane.
Yeah, Washed Up could go forward with a barrel strike here, thinks better of it. Has the sentry in lane to just sandstorm up and not care. But some pings coming out, they want to make a move, but literally nothing is happening. Baba, once again, getting the farm up on this, yeah, I think it's really nice from Leonidas because once he gets his level 2, right, he just goes off the mid and then gives so much solo EXP to Baba. Here comes the spin though, they want to pressure out this Tide Hunter, but this is a tanky boy. He's not going to be in any trouble, and Leonidas in with the roll. Just some trading back and forth as well.
Yeah, Tyrant have the boost of speed. They definitely cannot kill him, especially if Jug goes for the Wraith Band first item.
Yeah, I mean... Okay, wait, so do you think a boot, a pair of boot, okay? Gets a courier pretty big.
Ooh.
The entrance to Korea.
Actually, not gonna lie, there's a lot of, okay? Believer falling a little low, has to blink forward though, and the Sand King can't fight up against the corrosion. This is exactly what he queued that up for. They might even get the ward here, but the last hit isn't there! Believer, he ends up falling, but Shisui, can he clean up this kill? Getting the kits off. Tango is ticking, no mana to work with means that Shisui will have to walk away and Vetcher will. One happier than the other. Pretty good overall, they still get the kill on the anti-mage, really putting a dent into his early stage. Once again, we thought that, you know, it was gonna look a lot better, but it doesn't. Okay, yeah, like you said, a dive into the bot lane. Leonidas perhaps rolling a bit too far forward. Illegal with the sleep as well. Not sure what they can get from this. Probably, yeah, Baba actually TP's out. A bit of a curious TP, but maybe just wanting to evacuate the area and not waste any time. Some more action in the top lane. Ooh, that's a 2-man Inkswell. And the silence out. Can he get the last hit on Shisui? Ooh, wait. But the All Corrosion actually slowing up this Sand King. But it's more than healthy. Here is the roll though. And the kickback. Is it there? Ooh, slightly off the mark from Leonidas. Uncharacteristic from him, but here comes the scream. Washed up. Does he have a barrel strike into the trees? The cut away. Does he find him? No. The fog of war is not there in his favor. But that's 4 people to the top side, which really opens up the map for XL a little bit. And Baba actually tanking a death in the bot lane. The level 3 spin too strong. And everywhere we look, there's just action all across the map.
Yeah, definitely a win for USP over there. The map opening out quite a bit.
Yeah, I think Juggernaut is one of these heroes. I think I mentioned it before. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but literally... Wait, what? Wait, are these people... The exclamation mark score, guys. Come on, holy shit. Okay, but... Jug, right, is this hero that is pretty strong in the levels 1 to 6, right? And then suddenly throughout the mid game, he kind of feels like he falls off a bit because there's so many ways to just fuck with Omni Slash, right? But then it takes him a while. What do you feel like is the Jug timing for like before he's really strong again?
I think around 20 minutes when they go for Roche.
Okay.
And then they can start, like once they start pushing high grounds, Dyer, wait, I forgot the team name. RVRC, yes. RVRC don't really have any answers to it. Like, they can just 5 men.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that'll be Jug's timing.
Okay, but what items do you think he's looking at though? There comes the Inkswell in though. Gets the pop, the stroke of fate not on the mark though. So just gonna tank some hits from Believer, but here comes XL. Oh, X marks himself though. A bit too slow on the action. Not really his fault because the range is so short, but not in range to make anything happen, and the AM will just blink out, and we see exactly why they picked the AM, just able to ditch out of any situation.
Nice little back and forths in the side lanes. Constantly trying to make moves on the map. And especially with Kunkka and Kwok, both fairly decent maneuverability across the map. We could X marks, no TP top, get back to lane. I mean, that's not what he did, but it's an option.
For the roll, the kick back into the hands of Baba. He has the Ravage to work with, no mana for the Omni Slash. Is he gonna pop it up? The sleep, nicely saved from Illegal. Gets his jump out of dodge. And the sleep transfer a bit too late. Leonidas was trying to loop around to kind of juke them out or like just wrap around on the jump. But they don't manage to get a move. Would have been a disaster if he ravages there and gets the kill. That's a huge kill to get as we take a quick look at the net worth. Top of the net worth is still Kyoko though. And farming up a Storm. Meanwhile, the other three behind him are all the cause on the side of USP. The main one suffering the most is this Baba Tidehunter, who's been having quite a quiet game, and now Leonidas, has he rolled a bit too far forward? Rip Rap, probably gonna get this kill. The last hit is there, the jukes are not, and Leonidas is gonna fall. Okay, is this a kill available? USP, Tidebringer, ooh, gets the hit off. The scream not in time, and XL just strong arms and outplays Kyoko in the side lane, not in the side lane, but in the side of the lane rather, and XL not scared at all, still trying to get a kill out. I mean, it's just gonna be a bit of harass onto this Ogre. I don't think there's much that can be done. But she's probably...
It's definitely not the kind of lead you want to give to USP, especially for a lineup like that.
And like you said, right, you were saying they're gonna hit this 20-minute death ball timing, and every single kill helps. Like this Jug already off to a killing spree, and it looks like he is going for a Maelstrom. So not too greedy, but still able to farm up as an early item. Just pretty versatile overall, and really gonna amp up his damage that he can do. Now Washed Up has its Barrel Strike, but Believer level 6 now, so need to be a bit careful.
Just want to point out something out real quick. XL going for first item Orchid.
Yeah,
pretty interesting item choice. I
think this is literally his build in the first game as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's not too bad here. It helps to lock down the Quark. You know, if you silence anti-mage, then they can't run. It's actually not bad against two heroes with inbuilt blinks.
Yeah, I actually wanted to point out, I was gonna say in the draft, right, like, Queen of Paints now, they really like to build the BKB, the Kaya Sanj, stuff like that. They don't really favor the Yule so much. But I think if there's any game for Yules, this has to be the one for Kyoko, right? It kind of has to bite the bullet and get it, because it can disrupt the X marks from the Kunkka, it can disrupt the Torrent Ghost Ship combo, it can stop a grip, it can stop an epicenter channel, and can get you out of so many situations. It's just way too good of a Yules game.
Yeah, plus they don't have any saves on Dire, so I think he's kind of forced to like buy you.
Save himself, right?
Yeah, it slows down his own game also, because he can't afford like Kaya Sanj and other greedy items.
Oh, the silence out in time, and here comes the Barrel Strike. Epicenter channel up as well, the silence is there. But it doesn't last long enough. They just auto-attack it, and now Washed Up in a bit of trouble. Silenced up himself, and the Scream is there. But here comes XL with the Ghost Ship as well as the boat. Is it enough damage? Yes, it is. Kunkka is here to play, and he's not taking any fucking prisoners. That is the anti-mage down. Shisui takes the Nightmare for himself. But no more threat there, as XL basically has used his entire kit to get that anti-mage kill. Once again, slowing down the game of Believer here, sitting behind the Sand King in net worth. That is not where you want to be, and I just feel like Baba, like you said, Jerry, I think you were trying to point this out in the draft, right? You picked this Baba hero so early, and he's been such a point of contention for this team, RVRC, right? But it's starting to bite them in the ass, okay? Grimstroke, they have... Okay, the grip as well. Here comes the epicenter. He's trying to cancel it, but the silence is still there, and the magic damage is not enough. He opts to go for the ogre instead of the anti-mage, but the blink forward. They finish off Believer, and this is a huge disaster of a top lane for the side of RCRB. Or RVRC, whatever the fuck that name is. I hate this shit. Anyways, nonetheless, as much of a disaster as their name is, their top lane is just falling apart.
That was really not going well for them. how far is this anti-mage? He only has one component for the
Dude,
Battle Fury.
I think that literally was like halfway through that fight that Blink Dagger got delivered as well. So really nice from Illegal to stay in the trees, and even though they had a lane ward here, the anti-mage was feeling safe, but gripping from this side, not where he was expecting him to come out from, and really nice setup play from the side of USP.
Yeah, really good. They're very coordinated. We've seen in the previous games, and if they keep this up, the game might end before anti-mage really has a big impact.
Yeah, I mean, Shisui is trying to do what he can to guard him, but there's been so much magic damage that this Ogre can't stand. It's like we said, in those early stages, he could still kind of stand up and fight, but now, hits his own little ward at the moment. Yeah, there you go. That's a sentry ward, D ward. I don't know if he wanted to do that because it kind of gives away the fact there's a ward there, but it's not the end of the world.
Questionable play.
Yeah. No, the thing is, you saw him think about that a bit too. He's like, should I D-ward? Should I leave it up? And ultimately the decision was his that he was going to D-ward. So they probably have intention behind that. But here comes XL though. X marks the spot. It's going to reveal a ward. So they're going to know it's there. But is it going to save Leonidas? You see the pings immediately come out. Baba calls it out. The X marks over the tree line, gets the kill. Ooh, wait, actually it's a neutral creep kill onto him. He gets the deny, so I mean not the end of the world, but definitely would have liked that chunk of change. Could have helped him towards that Orchid as well.
I know actually we were talking about what was the timing for Juggernaut earlier, and I didn't know whether he was going to go get a Battle Fury or not, but he opts to go for a Maelstrom, and
Yeah.
I think it's that bad because you can build it into Mjolnir, right? And I think he just wants to out people down. I don't think he necessarily wants to fight them at all.
Okay, I'm not too sure about that, but I think we saw like, as in the Maelstrom build, he had that Javelin since pretty early on. Oh. Just hitting away, Baba keeping into the mid lane. The Queen of
What?
Pain managing to get picked off. I'm pretty sure there's a Blink Battle Strike in swell effect. But they're gonna get more. Rip Rap Trick Trap able to stop the Baba. Tied Hunter in his strikes. And here comes the epicenter. Where is the Battle Strike? The silence is there. And they're more than enough damage. They take down the anti-mage. The entire side of USP. They're taking the momentum from game 2 and they're surging forward. They're not even done. This Ogre is caught under his own tower. Not where he wants to be, which is not something you think he'll say. But brain set up. XL is dominating on this Kanka. And that had to be like the Orchid reveal, right? What I'm assuming. Because the Queen of Pain just got caught with her pants down.
Yeah, definitely. He didn't have it before that fight, right?
I'm not too sure, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
he
Huge
just got
Orchid
it
reveal.
delivered. Yeah, and that is exactly what you want. You get the mid lane tower as well, and now the map opens up so much, and we complimented USP over and over. When they have the map to play with, that's where Illegal and his okay. Yeah, I mean, Illegal showing you how it's done not only in the warding but in the cosmetics as well. He beats out Shisui, he has the Uchiha eyes.
Hey, my boy.
Oh, he blinks up! That's the blink, but the counter spell. He manages to get the X off in time though. Silenced up, but that's the counter spell and the blink away. The scream knocks down the Bane. And XL, have you gone a bit too far forward now? Has the Haste Rune to work with, but the boat as well to buy him some room. Is it enough? The Haste Rune expires the TP, but he might have been able to live if not for the Mana Void. Cabal equals Sundered. Believer gets a huge kill.
Wow, it goes on the nice one.
Nice.
Oh, like you guys said, Corp is building a U-Scepter, one item away. Is about to get it actually. Hopefully, we'll be able to make more plays with it. Be able to survive and try and counter engage. What items are the cores on RVRC going for?
Okay, so Baba, he's looking towards that Blink Dagger, has just finished up the hood. So he's had a bit of a rough game, still trying to get his farm up, of course. Yeah, okay, so finished up the Magic Wand and the hood, still trying to get that farm up. Probably gonna farm this Ancient Stag if I'm not wrong. Yeah, they recognize they need that Blink. The Anti-Mage still not at that Battle Fury, so gonna take a while. They're opting to secure this area first because, you know, the side of USP, they're coming forward. As for core items, the Battle Fury is still trying to be worked on here. Finally has the second component, waiting on the last. But look at the side of USP. Rip Rat has that Yasha completed, working towards the map. Ooh, to get killed. This is free one with Omni Slash and he just pops it off. Got to kick away. But here comes the Blink Battle Strike. They're not even going to need it. The roll not in time, the Magnetize. Slightly questionable. But they should know that Baba is farming up this wave here, but they have to run. Kanka looking for them. They should know there's vision here. The silence as well, so much magic damage coming in for XL. And is there a grip available? The use keeping him alive for now, but the grip, as soon as he comes down, the silence as well, not even needed. Do they want to grip Baba? I guess they do, but the Kraken shells it off. That's literally the point of the TIE Hunter. The X-Mark slightly off the mark, but it doesn't matter when you're just spinning to win. That is 4 people down essentially. Okay, no, sorry, 3. I saw that wrongly. But yeah, like you said, death ball timing, they're just running across the map. And USP playing to perfection. They're doing a bit of what RVRC does to other teams actually. 7-0-1 on this jug, playing an absolutely flawless game so far.
Yeah, really clean gameplay, making the most out of the vision they had. Their ward was just spotted out, and even when it was dying, they were still making use of it. Really nice team play, team movement from USP.
Yeah, rip back.
Definitely, the greedy picks on Daya are beginning to like show their weakness.
Yeah. I mean, look at Believer. He's so scared. He's literally just spamming counter spell off cooldown. like this is not where you want to be as an AM, and they're pinging him out. Wait, they see him. XL.
No.
XL could get the X is there, and here comes the Torrent. Counter spell out. Okay, silences himself pretty big though, and here comes the roll. The Blink Battle Strike is there. But where is the damage? Yeah, he gets out. He still has the blink available and gets out of that situation. Kyoko is in the corner and slight misstep there from XL. A bit late on the silence, not expecting the counter spell. Loses them the AM kill, but still pretty good overall. As the Blink Barrel Strike lands it onto the Ogre. This is a tanky boy though, trying to TP out, but the damage is there. Rip Rat. Once again, so close to that meta now, and from there, how are they supposed to kill him? He's so strong. And this is the death ball timing that you're talking about, Corden. Thank you for saying something useful. This is what we were looking forward to the entire time. 20 minutes in, like you said, the death ball is online. Okay, if you are playing a pub now and you are the Queen of Pain, what do you do to pull the game back for your team? How do you win this game? Or do you feel like it's already over?
Probably the best way is to just rat with the AM. They don't really have that strong tower pushing on Radiant. I mean, they have the jug, but he just hits the tower. He doesn't really have any like. It's not like Terrorblade or draw.
Right? Yeah, right. Okay, so, wait, I do want to wonder though, because I feel like a lot of times we see the jug kind of get this healing ward cooldown. And it's been really so strong, right? Because it empowers the push and it really makes the weak wave clear even weaker because you just get your creeps healed up to full. Do you think that's a talent that's worth getting, or is it always 20 attack speed and nothing else?
Oh, he actually gets attack speed?
Yeah, he gets the healing ward cooldown, which I think is really good because it fits right into that. Oh, they see Believer here. Where is the follow-up? Not in time. They're rushing over to try and help him. But help is not required when all you are facing is a Sand King. He gets out of that situation alive. Posturing towards top. XL, he's here in this lane. Already has the BKB. He's a few creeps away from it seems. And oh, I heard a barrel strike. They're able to Shisui. Here is the Inkswell and the Soulbind as well. Killed off is this Ogre. That's not a bad kill to lose, all things considered, but still pretty painful. They're gonna continue their control of this top side. XL just literally cutting the creep waves, no fear whatsoever. And the catapult wave, oh, the catapult just died actually, huh? Okay, but the posturing around mid now, healing ward. The uptime is basically like, wait, okay, so the duration is now 25 seconds minus, yeah. So the uptime is like what, 25 seconds and then you have 15-second downtime? A bolt out of the Baba though. Here comes the nice roll. Leonidas setting out onto the entire backline. But Sand King with a BKB turns it around. Leonidas is the first one to fall. Believer blinked into this. That was your AM, the Ravage, keeping them alive for now. The Bane is there, but that's a buyback from Leonidas. They're trying to do the work onto this jump, but they can't find the last hit. There's gonna be a death. Oh, the scream slightly off the mark. That could have been a huge kill on the jug if they managed to find it. But the healing ward out again. The only person they lose is the Bane, and that is a dieback for the Earth Spirit.
That looked like should have gone way worse for USP there. They was a little bit caught out. I think if the Queen of Pain out hit the Juggernaut, that would have been way better for them. But it's not too bad, I guess. They defend the tower, but they're looking to pressure it again. Like, because of that healing what they mentioned, they're just gonna come back in all full health already.
Yeah, and this is not something you see very often. Black King bow on the Sand King, but he recognizes he can completely negate the Earth Spirit and the TIE Hunter. Like we said, Baba not having a really good game on this TIE Hunter, and he's basically just a Ravage, right? We haven't really felt the impact in other aspects for him. And Believer forced to rat away in this lane. Now, finally, as the Fury completed, but take a look at this Juggernaut. Manta done and working towards that Basher. It's not looking too good. Oh, a silence up. Where's the follow-up? They can't get the vision and they don't actually pop the haste for it. Saving it for something else for Rainy Day XL. And then missing out the kill on the anti-mage.
Alright, Mike. You're a tight player, right?
Sure, yeah, I guess.
Alright, Baba has a what is this, a Lotus Orb queued up. What do you think about it?
Good.
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 Good
I
talk.
think it's a good item, and I mean it's always these supports like the Lion and Bane that can really get caught out. In the same way that Anti-Mage is a really good pick here because he can counterspell everything off. It's kind of the same thought process for the Lotus Orb, right? Where you can even like negate the entirety of the Omni Slash, which is something the Tide doesn't have the ability to do at this moment. So it's gonna help him out a lot in terms of survivability and just make them think twice about casting their spells. We saw how much the Lotus Orb impacted the side of USP, of course. That was the game where Lion was played by Illegal and he just balls to the wall, just used his spells anyway. Absolute chat move. But now it's gonna be a bit worse because they could end up sleeping themselves or Xing themselves or like we've seen already, silencing themselves, which could really spell disaster.
Yep, that's a pretty good point. I didn't see it. Don't know why I didn't see it. I'm retarded.
Alright.
Actually,
anyway.
with the Lotus Orb, they can't really cast anything on Radiant.
Yeah, literally everything on the Radiant is targeted spells, right? Like the only thing that I can think of that's not is probably like what, this Inkswell and maybe Stroke of Fate and like the Kanka spells. But a tidal wave completed for what was it? Yeah, Excel. And working towards that water park now, so he really is taking his job as the water park manager very seriously. Make sure to get the items every single time. I think the tidal wave is gonna be so annoying because it's very hard to see where it's coming from until it just spawns, right? Like it's such a weird like spell. You can see
like,
Kanka.
no one expects it.
Yeah, you can see Kanka waving his hands, but you don't really see that as a sign. Like for example, the thing about Tide Hunter is like when he blinks in and he throws his hands up to the sky, you know the Ravage is coming, right? Same thing for like I don't know, the Grim Stroke when he winds up the Stroke of Fate. Same thing. But the Kanka Tidal Wave is a bit of a sticky one. They have found Believer. Oh wait, huh?
Cancel
What?
it.
Did he? Wait, what was there? Do you see that? That was he cancelled
Did he
the.
counterspell there, right?
No, I think he tried to get the Fiend's Grip off, but he cancelled it himself. Probably misclicked it. And that's a huge kill. That was supposed to be the pick. That was supposed to be the opening for them to go to high ground, but instead they miss out a kill and back-to-back fumbles on Believer is gonna have him tanking whatever religion he's part of because he just got so lucky with that shit.
Actually, if you look at the wards on the map, there's a lot of the wards for USP, sorry.
Oh, USP.
USP is actually in the dire jungle, not in their jungle. So Believer probably knows this and he's going into their jungle to farm and he's getting a lot of space to come back actually.
You mean the anti-mage or?
Yeah, the anti-mage, sorry.
Okay, I mean the anti-mage pushing out the top lane for now as they start to take out the mid tower, the healing ward uptime like I said, I mean he gets it and it just really empowers this push, right? They have the did they get the creep wave? Oh Leonidas, you pesky dog.
You can farm some jungle with that, alright.
Yeah, I mean he literally doesn't even cut the creep wave, he just brings it all the way.
Anti-mage farming the stack. Oh, how nice of them.
Oh, thank you. Very nice, sir. It's so kind
Nice
of you to
push.
stack that up for me, Okay, I heard an Orchid. They get the Ogre, but once again, the Ogre is fine with dying. He's just buying room here. Like Leonidas, he's farming away in this bot side, and the anti-mage, like you said, just finding so much space for himself to come back. Almost has that Manta 500 gold away, and that's going to change a lot for him. He's not going to be so scared of the silencers anymore. They've caught the tidal wave from the Baba. But he's gonna be A-okay in the water, he swims in that shit, he's fine. Yeah, but then 45 forced out. Rip Rap though, nothing to be afraid of, has that blinks forward. Ooh, that was a little bit spicy. They want to finish off this tower. Ooh, denied! Nicely done from Baba there.
Getting his battle pass quest done.
Yeah,
I think that was another drag creeps by the Earth Spirit.
Yeah, this man, they need to put a stop to this guy. Like, he plays this ward to see anyone coming as well, which is really smart from him. Like, he just kind of is so annoying on this Earth Spirit, just buying so much space for them. They're gonna kill the Ooh! Yo! Yo! Okay! Okay. That is huge. That is huge.
Oh, is he gonna get 2 mid-careers?
No way.
I doubt so, but that'd be a nice little return.
Alright, Rip Rat, he's on to Baba.
Oh, he does?
Oh?
One, oh,
No,
one
I mean,
more?
he gets a
No.
career, but he pump fakes the slash. I was a bit confused. They should know the anti-mage is in their mid. Grimshot, oh, yeah, okay, he dodges it away. But like I said, they're just pushing this high ground. I mean, Corden, you mentioned it. Just comes forward. Sorry?
They
Oh,
have
yeah,
to break this
backdoor,
tower
right?
quickly though. Yeah.
Yeah. Backdoor is in. Yeah, so they can't get it. The creep wave cutting is too strong. And XL, once again, up to his shenanigans, just X marks. But they don't have a creep wave to work with here. So they're just forced to pull back. I mean, Believer is just gonna blink in and cut this wave, right? Or is he a bit scared? Yeah, he's feeling a bit scared. He doesn't see them anymore. So he's gonna play it safe. Nice little ward set up for them here. RVRC, they know the game they have to play, even though it's painful as hell.
Yeah, this, like Corden mentioned, Cobb is helping to cut the waves, push out other lanes.
Yeah,
And
RVRC played this very well. Like the net worth difference is starting to close up a bit.
I mean, 10k go up still, and I mean, USP, they're not going anywhere. They're firmly planted over here, and they have the ward. They have the healing ward as well. The spinning forward wants to finish this off, but has to be a bit careful. Could get chain CC'd up if he's not too careful. And I'll try and make use of it. Oh, there's a stun.
He really wants that wreck.
He really wants that Rex. And he's gonna get it as well. They're even gonna use the boat. Oh, there's a barrel strike. The push back. Do they have the vision? They don't at the moment. Leonidas gonna get out of there. But they managed to get what they came for. They finally get the Rex. And a USP, they're gonna be happy with that. They're gonna retreat for now. The age is 17 seconds. Not used at all for Rip Rap. But the map's still firmly in their control. They like us, RVRC, they're gonna have to kind of rely on really sneaky tactics to try and win this. 23-6, it's not looking pretty, but they're not out of the game just yet. Their cause, they haven't, okay, the AM not having the best game, but Kyoko's still doing pretty okay, all things considered. And like you said, they're farming their way back. Let's take a look at the levels 18 and 18 for these two heroes that have just been farming the side lanes. And Excel though, he's the real winner of all of this. Level 20 on this Kanka, an absolute monster. Boots of
It's
travel.
definitely winnable though.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, the Jug basically hasn't been farming a lot for the past 5 minutes, but AM has been free farming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Closing the gap for sure, and like now with this Manta back, oh, he's queuing up an Aghanim's. What do you think about this?
Yeah, this is quite a curious pickup. I think he just wants to wither away at their mana, make them unable to cast spells, probably. That's what I'm thinking, but what do you think, Colin?
I think pretty good item as in the sense that because he can't really like blink in or he'll just die. So I think it's either X or BKB, and he chooses the X.
Oh, okay, one thing I want to mention as well, right? This AM, he has the meta illusions to work with as well, but the blink fragment illusions can actually tank the soul bind. So that can like kind of take the pressure off one of his teammates, right? Like this Queen of Pain, if she gets soulbound up, it's bad news, like BKB down. But if an illusion is tanking it and you're like chained to an ogre, it literally doesn't do anything, right? So that really removes some of the effectiveness that the Green Stroke might be looking to have.
Oh yeah, that's insane. I didn't know that. Maybe did he know that? The anti-mage know that?
I'm pretty sure he has it in mind, right? I mean, he picked this into the Green Stroke. They have their eyes on the Baba though, but they can't. Oh, here they go. Leonidas not even able to get any of his spells off. Baba still has the Ravage though, and the buyback is there. They should be a little bit careful here and a bit wary. The boat is down. Oh, Baba has the Lotus Orb, but there's the Burrow Strike. They're throwing it out. They don't care. What's up? Force the BKB out, but Baba is falling so low. Is there an Omni Slash? Doesn't opt to go for it. They smoke up, and so does the side of USP. They're done here. They're ditching. They're gone.
Anti-mage is back.
Indeed. And
Indeed.
has that meta completed. So nicely. I mean, he almost has that Aghanims as well. So like you said, Corden, he's just been farming away and keeping up in terms of net worth. The Jug hasn't been hitting creeps in this intermission period. So between like trying to get these racks, so he does get one set of racks and one tower, but at the cost of really letting the anti-mage come back into the game. They're paying it out. You know someone's here. Lotus Orb. Vector has to be so careful here. The Blink getting ready. Oh, and the Glim Stroke ulti. Are they gonna Mana Void? Yes, they are. Leonidas is in with the abilities and they get a kill. They go straight into Roche to find that it has not spawned yet. 20 more seconds until it spawns though, but it looks like they spotted out XL. No BKB for another 2 seconds. And they don't have Mana Void. He doesn't actually use it, and the Ravage!
What?
That's a huge kill! XL maybe not expecting them to overcommit that much, or maybe not expecting the Ogre to make it in time, but forgot about the Ravage. Maybe it's because Baba hasn't casted it this entire game, but I mean, makes it land when it counts, and those are 2 huge kills for them. They're opening the map back up for themselves.
RVRC got so much mobility, they just chase them down. I think it's a bit of a miscom. Why didn't they just leave? Did they not have TPs?
Now, I mean, maybe getting a bit greedy, like maybe overestimating their position, right? Like Vepcher, he's around, but he's right on top of. Okay, he wasn't on the ward, but I think when he was leaving, they saw that the camp was just being farmed and aggroed, so they just continued walking, and Vepcher doesn't have the move speed to get away.
We're getting a bit sloppy now, but you know, they're still in the lead. They have 1 set of Rex, they've taken down the top tier 3. They could probably try and get their Rex again.
I mean, realistically speaking, that was pretty greedy from XL, right? Like, he could have BKB TP, but he opted to just go for the TP because he thought it was just a quad there. But, you know, maybe just assumed that they wouldn't come and loop around for him. But they do, and they punish him for it. But he now has a boost of travels and Aghanim Sector completed. So, Water Park online.
Hopefully it's not a repeat of the last 2 games. You know, having trouble sieging and just lose the game again.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly starting to look like it. Anti-Mage, with their Aghanims now, is going to cause them a lot of problems. These heroes not the best at dealing with illusions of Anti-Mage. Like, I mean, okay, Kanka, you can cleave him, but XL, he didn't really go for this, like, right-click build, right? So his cleave, yes, it's going to do enough damage to clear a creep wave, but not enough to really melt through these strong, tanky AM illusions. As you see here, they can easily clean up a creep wave by themselves. And the ping's coming out. They spot the entire side of USP on top of a nicely placed ward here. Leonidas once again up to his tricks. Just rolling out, trying to push whatever wave he can.
What a slippery man that guy is.
Yeah.
So annoying.
Yeah, this guy has just been... I mean, they've all really sort of been playing their part to perfection, right? They just are in... Oh, yeah, like Leonidas is so annoying. He might get caught out here, roll away, watch out. Can he find it with the blink? There he is, there's the trace, but no detection at the moment. Ooh! Wait, the tidal wave doesn't actually cancel the TP!
Yeah, it doesn't stun, it just makes you like knock back.
Ooh, and
That
that's
guy
gonna...
is crazy.
Yeah, Leonidas actually just dancing on him a little bit there. Glimmercape paying off for sure.
No voice line. Oh man.
Yeah, no voice line for
There.
him.
Keeping it clean, I guess.
Yeah. It's pretty clean just like his play, but USP kind of feels like they're struggling a bit now, but did I hear that right? It is the Roshan take for them. And this probably is gonna herald another push with the death ball coming along again, but the split push threat coming out from the side of RVRC, ever looming. They have this bot lane open, so the AM could actually hit high ground. And the scan comes out, so they should know this is happening. But do they want to come and contest? They have the Ravage available. They're coming in forward full force. The Blink Fragment is there, hitting away onto Jug. He doesn't want to deal with this at the moment. Yeah, and Sentry plays down as well. The Sand King has to vacate. No mana to work with, and they could swoop in and try and get this Roche for themselves. You can't really fight without mana on the Sand King. And USP forced back. Yeah, Sand King's gonna reset here. The X marks as well. Nice little play from them there. But they've smoked up now. There's a Sentry
Take
right.
a quick look at the net worth. Actually, Anti-Mage is top now. He's come back so hard.
Yeah, I mean, once again, like we said, so much space. XL spots them with a ward though. Here comes the double stun, and it's so behind the Ravage out. But is it too late to scream over their heads? And Believer, he's gonna melt that 3 down. They don't manage to get anything with that. And the Lotus Orb reflects the sleep, but the Barrel Strike Baba, even though he blended a nice Ravage onto all 5, it was too late. Sand King is there with the initiate, and XL makes it happen with the Water Park. Locks down the entire side of RVRC with one move. And just like that, they swoop back into the pit and get the Aegis for themselves.
Alright, you know what I just said? No, that didn't matter. About 35 minutes, die in 5 seconds. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, and that's the AM story, right? That's why so many people hate this hero, is because it really requires such... It's such a hard game to play, and I mean, honestly speaking, they retreated back to this high ground, but they have a false sense of security because they have a ward here, but they didn't actually clear out any of this vision. It allows the side of USP to just jump them without warning, and XL from the low ground, that's definitely not what they were expecting, and now it's gonna be a second lane of Rex, might even be a third if they don't want to buy back here. Even if they do, no Ravage for this Tide Hunter for another minute. How are they gonna take this fight?
Yeah, definitely a big misplay by RVRC by not dewaling that one.
Yeah, I don't really know what that's about, to be honest. Like I mean, really, these games have just been so so much emphasis on the warding and the vision game, right? It's really the warding that allows them to get these picks. And Sand King is a hero that needs vision to play. That's why he never wants to be the main one initiating. He always wants to be a follow-up. And XL, I mean, you don't really need to follow up when you just have full vision of their whole team. Lands a 3-man barrel strike and allows the rest of the follow-up to come through from XL as well as the Grimstroke. And Washed Up actually goes for the Radiance here, some spicy shit.
What?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, is it that good? I'm not sure.
I don't know either, but a bit of a head scratcher there, but maybe they're feeling a bit confident on the side of USP. This could come back to bite them though. Yeah, but this could really come back to bite them though if they're not too careful. Okay, Barrel Strike in, but immediately Kraken Shell off. They want to do a wraparound, they got eyes on the Bane, but X marks onto this AM as well. Kyoko's on the back line, but is this AM who's under some threat? The Glimmer King keeping him alive for now, and the Tidal Wave, the Ravage, keeps him alive, but Water Park is there. They get both supports on both sides, but what else can you get? That is the Tide Hunter down, so it's a 3-for-2 exchange overall. And it's a buyback of the Tide Hunter, now 3v3. Still Aegis available on this Juggernaut. They don't have the Healing Ward available, so they'll back off for now. Will they reset or will they stand around? Nice little wraparound maneuver there from the AM. Just gets his eyes on the Bane immediately and takes out the crucial supports. They don't get to cast anything. But because of that though, USP immediately answer right back. XL pops the BKB and the Water Park and just does in the supports in return. And now Rip Rap, like we said, the Age is still available, so he really has nothing to fear. Ravage is not there. Lotus reflects the Barrel Strike, but X-Marks is there, brings him straight back into their waiting arms. Rip Rap, oh, with the Omni Slash, but blocked out by the Yules. But he comes back down into a bash, and the Tidal Wave, they get the Queen of Pain. They have the buyback, but the Glimmer King keeping AM alive for now. They need to be so careful. The blink out from the Juggernaut. Leonidas trying to find what he can. The Boulder Smash slowing up the Jug, but blink away from Washed Up. And they'll be happy with that buyback. What else can they find? It doesn't look like they want to see anything else. Leonidas trying to do what he can. A nice ward in the lane for the future push. Yep, the X marks. USP do not want to go anywhere. They want to keep this push going. And tier 4's available as well. Oh, Leonidas is being found here. The Barrel Strike slightly off the mark. Leonidas trying to do what he can to cut this wave. Like you said, Jerry, a very slippery man. And he's going to find this wave. And this is the last wave that they have. They need to play with this wave and this healing ward. But healing ward just expires.
I think XL just got his refresher. It's gonna be double Water Park coming.
Yes, he does. And not to mention the BKB and the silence as well. Even if you kind of block one out with the Yules, this Queen of Pain feels like she's been having such a hard game. Oh, Washed Up, stand up now. Not a lot of mana to work with. Doesn't have the BKB. Turns around and where is the backup? Washed Up still surviving though. And Illegal, he's onto the back line. Believer, Water Park tossed him up though and they get the Ogre to start. Vectra and Illegal, they're under some threat. The screen over their heads. But meanwhile, USP doing the damage to the back lines. It's 2 versus 4 right now. But Rip Rap, Trip Trap, 1 minute left on that Age. Is Silent Start, Manta out. And the spin, can he get out of this situation? They don't have the mana void to cancel it, but they want to find more. Leonidas, the blink out. XL doesn't have a BKB to work with. The Torrent to cover his tracks. Nicely done from XL. And they can't catch him. No more stones to work with for Leonidas. And no more blink cooldown to work with. Means that XL gets out that one scot-free. But overall, still a pretty good hold with no Ravage. They keep managing to pick off the back line.
And they got Megas off of that fight. It's really good for them.
Oh, and Trip Trap finds him in the jungle. Not really sure what that's about, but probably got him with the Nullifier and the Bashers. And tips coming out. USP really feeling themselves right now.
They still got a long way to go though. They still have 4 towers outside of the base. The only lane they can really push to try and contest is bottom, and bottom is a long road. I don't know what they're gonna do with the timing.
Yeah, this Torrent Storm is actually like quite insane for the AM to play into.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can say you hate magic and shit, but like literally when it's everywhere, as much as you try and counterspell, you can't dodge it. The spin from the bash from the spin actually keeps the AM in track, and that might have given us a bit of a clue as to how that ES died. Probably tried to roll away, but caught by the bash, unsuspecting, and forced to buy back here. And really forced to buy back just to defend. Beside the RVRC, they've been having such a rough time, and it's really been from the start of the game, right? This Tide has not had the time of day, and Baba, this is not the performance we're expected we expect to see from him, right? We usually think this guy is gonna be this the tip of the spear, if you will, of his team, and really making the plays, and he has come in clutch so often for them in these team fights. But right now he kind of feels nothing more like a Ravage bot.
Yeah, I think he's just having a V. It's not good.
Oh, you're cutting out a little bit there, Jerry. Sorry, could you repeat yourself?
Sorry, where did I cut off?
You just said he's just not having a, and then you cut off.
We'll leave it at that.
Alright, anyways,
He's just not having a good-
Leonidas sneaks around, like you said, really slippery guy. They're picking him out, but they don't want to waste any time with him. They know the Earth Spirit isn't around. This could open up the map. This could open up the base for them to go into, but Rip Rat, it appears he's still looking for something. Working his way towards that Abyssal now. Has the buyback available, so does AM. But the Queen of Pain, Kyoko, and Baba as well, they've used it previously. And they're not going to have that available. If they get picked off, that is the death for them. A quick look at the items. Spell Prism for this Sand King and Psychic Headband for Bane, really nice. And Penta Edge Sword for Juggernaut as well. But they do have a Witch Bane for Queen of Pain, so pretty nice little perch there. A shout out Shield of Strange. But apart from that, nothing really much to work with, as the rest of the map is like starved out by this side. Oh, a BKB pop. That was the Sand King.
BKB?
Yeah, I think he thought he was getting gone on by the anti-mage, but really it was just a blink fragment. The water park used as well from XL. My bad. That was probably a bit of a misclick, but that's 1 minute before they'll probably feel confident going in again. Like you said, Corden, like the water park is such a huge part, and without it, the AM can just lay waste to this backline. So they really need to wait for that cooldown before going again.
Yeah, I think it kind of forces AM to buy BKB, but if he goes for BKB, he really would have like no more damage.
I mean, he's already struggling on that front, but with the Skadi completed, might have a bit of better luck keeping the heroes he wants to kill near him, right? So far, he's sort of been kited around and like saved and constantly tossed up in the sky by the tidal wave, the torrents and all that. I think this might be an AM BKB game, but like you said, if you get that, how do you... You're already having trouble kind of clearing these mega creeps, right? How do you even push, and how do you even threaten like that? And how do you even kill anybody that's not the supports?
Yeah, it looks like a GG.
Oh, for real?
I would tap out if I were them, but
Alright, not showing a lot of heart on
looks
Corden
like
over
Believer
here.
still believes.
Yeah, living up to his name, and obviously they wanted a best of 5, they want to make it close, and they're definitely giving them a close game. 18k gold up, 34 to 13. Oh, people have spam redeemed the drink water. Yeah, all that leftover water from the failed water park is for me. I'll drink up, but yeah, thank you guys.
You know, I'm just want to take a quick look at the supports real quick. I mean, the Ogre pick, I don't know how I feel about it. He's constantly being banned or just being insta-picked, and I don't feel much of his impact this game.
No, but it really is like, I feel like it's a bit of a fallacy to call it that way, right? Because the Ogre, it's just that their lane went into shit. Their lane went into complete shit. Like, but it's not exactly the Ogre's fault. It's more of like they kind of really got outlaned. Like the Ogre, he can just stand there and keep throwing out ignites and like keep harassing them down, but instead he kind of got caught out, which puts his like AM in a really rough spot, right? Like I think it's kind of hard for him to play this game. Like,
I mean, it's just been highly contested the past few games, and to be honest, okay, again, it's not his fault, but I don't see much of what the Ogre does.
I mean, this pick was actually their, I think, was it their 3rd or 4th pick? They picked it after the tie, right?
Yeah, they picked it after.
No, I think they picked it after the Queen of Pain as well.
Yeah.
Which is kind of curious. Maybe they just want the buff for the anti-mage to get Believer up to speed, right? Like, but I mean, there's not much time left. I mean, Believer, he's had a lot of the game to farm, but not able to have the impact in the face of the water part. And now the Aghanim Scepter gonna be available for this jug, more than likely. I'll be surprised if they give it to Washed Up. But Overwhelming Blink coming out soon for this Sand King as well. They're gonna have to be so careful. There's so much magic damage able to come out from the side of USP. They're gonna grab it all for the side of Rip Rat. USP rather. He grabs the Aegis as well as the Aghanim's upgrade. And yeah, nothing to fear. USP, the cheese for himself. I like that decision a lot. I think honestly, XL, no risk of dying. Oh, the Scythe completed as well. The double Scythe. And the smoke up right outside the base. They don't see this one coming. Baba could be in a world of hurt. There's the X marks. Tossed up into the sky, and there is Rip Rat. The blink forward. Nullifier as well. Tai Hunter is gonna get glimmered up though, but too tanky to cut through at this present moment. They don't want to commit more for that. Meanwhile, Washed Up just sandstorming in the bot side. They're tossing up the Tai Hunter again, but they've got their eyes on the Leonidas. Here's a Swift Slash. The Glimmer stomps in his tracks. And Shisui Manages to get out. Excel just running forward the water park, no cares whatsoever. Has the refresher available, and Baba still tanking up so much damage. Lotus Orb forward. The Barrel Strike doesn't even care. This Tide Hunter's looking more like a watermelon than a Tide. And here comes the Blink Fragment, but they don't even care. Excel just pops the BKB, keeping them away. Pump faking the Ravage, but you can't even get it off. They're trying to fight now, but illegal. The Bane has a BKB. Kyoko trying to do the damage. The Sweet Slash is there, but they get the Bane, but the Ravage too little, too late. Baba, that's a dieback for him. The Ancient is falling. The Ogre is dying. Believer, there's not much left to believe in as the side of RVRC. They fall after a slugfest, but in reality, this game was over ages ago.
Out of mana.
Out of mana. Indeed. You can't have mana if you're dead. A clear message sent to RVRC as USP. Pull it out on top, dude. Like, that's such a rough first game, but they managed to just punch back and really cool stuff from them.
Yeah, really clean gameplay. It means that Juggernaut lost a bit of... Hello?
Yeah. Hello, you there?
Yeah?
Hell yeah. Okay, beautiful.
Where did I cut off?
No. You said Juggernaut lost a bit of.
Yeah, we were saying that Juggernaut lost a bit of farm, pushing the towers, but I guess it didn't really matter. He's still 32k net worth at the end of the game, and it's just really clean gameplay from them.
Yeah,
pushing the towers, getting the...
Yeah, we see the net worth. Like, there was a few moments that were faltered, right, where they were able to take some good pick off and fights. But take a look at the player net worth. Even though the anti-mage managed to eclipse, look at the Excel Kanka net worth as well. At the end of the day, because of how small the map is, one side you got Leonidas trying to do what he can on that Earth Spirit. But this is basically the second time they have shut down Leonidas on this Earth Spirit. They might have thrown RVRC for a loop here. This is match point. This is one game away from the end. Do you think this Earth Spirit is still worth picking, or?
I mean, he has been doing his job in this game. It's really not a bad pick, but I don't think the problem lies with the Earth Spirit pick. I just don't have enough. I think they just...
Yeah, Corden, what do you think about this?
Spirit kind of like, I don't know, early game it doesn't really do much, and yeah, I think that kind of contributed to like the bot lane losing really hard, and the top lane also, they kind of got outplayed.
Yeah,
so...
I think on paper the Ogre AM is supposed to have a pretty decent lane, right? But Vector and Washed Up, they just really outplay them in that lane and make it look like the AM is not going to counter. It kind of looked like a bit like a joke with how much damage he was tanking, and maybe a bit of a... I don't know, Believer going for that Orb of Corrosion might have just cost him there.
Yeah, I think a Ring of Health would have been much better to just sustain.
Yeah, but that wraps up our third game as USP take the lead for the first time in this series. We're up to game 3 and it's basically match point. We have game 4 next, but for now we're gonna go for a short break. Let me just pull this aside, okay. Going for a